Is this the first page? Good grief. I mean, it can't be that hard. I mean, it's just following instructions here, right? This is really hardcore when you're grinding your own wheat, your rye berries. I haven't even seen a rye berry before. Good grief. This is very complicated. This is really an advanced cookbook. To make a sponge, what is a sponge? To make the sponge, put 15 ounces of water and the yeast in a bowl of a standing mixer. All right, is this a standing mixer? All right, so 15 ounces of water. And the yeast, active. What's the difference between active and inactive? Was it teaspoon? Teaspoon, 1/8. Almost 1 teaspoon active dry yeast. Active, so I've got 26 ounces of unbleached bread flour. All right, so this is dissolving. It's not really dissolved yet. How many ounces was that? 26 ounces of unbleached bread flour. I don't know how many ounces are in a cup. Oh yeah, that would make sense. Can you zero the scale? 26 ounces? 26 ounces. That's a lot. Seems like there's not enough water. There's 13. There, uh-oh. It just went to a pound. I have to take some of that out, I think. I didn't get into the yeast yet. I mean, it goes from 15 ounces. I'm confused here. It goes from 15 to, and then it flips at 16. Okay, I'm on the right track now here. This is quite. I didn't realize it had to be so critical. So baking is this way, even for the donut people. Rye berries. So I'm assuming I have to make the flour from the berries. 1 tablespoon dark. So does it translate from berries to flour? It doesn't. That is tablespoons, yeah, TBS. So. Boy, this is really hardcore when you're grinding your own wheat, your rye berries. I haven't even seen a rye berry before. I better just keep it simple here, one thing at a time. I don't need to be multitasking. 1.5 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon and a half of wheat germ. Okay, so it's got a handle on it. 1.5. Do you guess with half, or do you get the right tool for the right job here? I guess you probably should, huh? I didn't realize baking was so critical. I thought you could just kind of knead the bread. Stir with a wooden spoon to combine the ingredients. Wrap the bowl tightly in plastic wrap and tightly wrap the perimeter of the bowl with kitchen twine or another piece of plastic wrap to further seal the bowl. Set the dough aside at room temperature for 1.5 hours. Okay, so a wooden spoon. It seems dry. It says 22 ounces of water, and I only put 15 ounces of water. Sponge 15 ounces of water and yeast in a bowl, standing mixer. Let it sit for a few minutes. Dissolve 13 ounces of bread. Start with a wooden spoon. So is the other water added later? Well, I don't know where the other water is supposed to go. Can I use my hands, or do I have to use the wooden spoon? How come I'm putting it in the stand or the mixer and not using the mixer bowl? You really go through this to make pizza?
Every time.
I mean, how long does it? It's got to take hours. I mean, do you just wake up in the morning and you'd have to decide early in the morning or the day before what you're going to do? Would never happen for me. You know, a lot of these things, this cookbook is taking for granted that you would know how long to knead this bread or this sponge. I mean, it doesn't really say. Oh, okay. Rising tub. Yeah, we've got one of these. The dough is started. So now what do we have? What do we have left? We have the sauce, the tomato sauce. So that's rising. I better read this through. This is really an advanced cookbook. A food mill. What is a food mill? Okay, so again, I need to weigh these things. All right, so for the marinara sauce, pass the tomatoes. That's a bit pretentious, isn't it? Pass the tomatoes. Is that pour the tomatoes? Put the tomatoes in a bowl. Large saucepan? Is that considered large? So this is a saucepan. I don't really. I guess the only thing I can go off with the consistency is you know how I like the consistency, right?
I have a food mill if you want to use it.
This would be fine. This would be fine. Well, I mean, it should have some little pieces in it, you know, and not be like Domino's type of sauce, you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm passing the tomatoes through the jar, through the aperture. Uh-oh. Looks like I didn't hold it down enough. Okay, so I'm gonna pass this through the food mill. Okay, so it's important to read the ingredients first.
It is.
So here's my mixing bowl. And one thing what is a passata? 1 heaping teaspoon. Well, that's quite a bit. That's I mean, I'll probably try twice that much. And so now would be a good time to read the recipe. Is this a famous author? Nancy Silverton, would she be on YouTube? Oh, okay. Uncover the bowl and add the remaining 7 ounces of water, the remaining 13 ounces of bread flour. Uh-oh. Did I put it all in? I don't remember. Did I put it all in? I did, didn't I? Okay, I didn't read the directions and added. Oh, you did the same thing. Okay, and I added all the flour, and at least I didn't add all the water. All right, so you added all the flour, and I haven't even been to Italy. I got my tomato sauce burning over here. I've got my pizza dough rising. I made one mistake here, and I put all the flour in. But not all the water, so that's okay because I'll just have to deal with it. So that will be ready in about an hour. Mix the dough on low speed for 2 minutes. Add the salt. Did I put the salt in? A bowl large enough to hold the dough when it doubles in size. It doubles in size. Turn the dough out of the mixer into the oiled bowl. Wrap the bowl as before. Set the dough aside at room temperature for 45 minutes. The dough will double in size. All right, I'm assuming I saw something that looked like a hook, like the donut hook. Now, this calls for salt, but I don't think that I added the salt. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I don't even know what barley malt is. It's like molasses. That's delicious. 1 tablespoon, not teaspoon. 1 tablespoon of salt. Double check this. There's a lot of processes here. This is very complicated. I mean, the recipe is 4 pages long and 2 of the pages are on how to properly knead the bread. I mean, there's even pictures. Well, I know what I'm not doing. I gotta find where to put the ingredients together here. What do we have here? We've got oil, salt, mozzarella. Okay, mozzarella. I gotta do the mozzarella. Is she jumps around like, well, you got to go to page 25 for the sauce, and you got to go to page 135 for the dough, and then what am I reading? What are these ingredients for? Are these are for the topping. 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive, so that's hardly any, so that's probably to rub on the dough. Kosher salt to sprinkle around. I think it's about right. Tomato sauce, 3 ounces of low moisture mozzarella cut into 6 cubes or clumps. Finishing quality extra virgin olive oil, about 1 tablespoon. Fresh micro or miniature basil leaves, or 3 fresh large basil leaves. Basil. Why'd you put a lime here? All right, so now would be a good time to prep this. I can prep this and put it in a bowl and put it back in the refrigerator so it doesn't get too squidgy. Oh, they're so good. It's not salty. Okay, back to the bread. I'm going to have you do the tossing. All right, so I'm going to add the water. Oh, I was supposed. No, that goes in later. Man, I had all this ready. So I said to. Oh, it's really sticky. And fold side down. Oh, I'm all sticky. All right, it's in. Where was that? It was, yeah, right there. I'm gonna have you do the making the, whatever. I should have bookmarked these. Is this all pizzas? 2 olive oils? I'll tell you what, if I made the decision to do this and I was going to cook for the family, I would have the Mac kitchen. That's like tin pants right there.
That's my tin pan.
The big ones are going to start eating the little ones if we don't get something in the oven, right? Yeah. All right, so the cheese would probably, what do you figure, 4 pieces?
Yeah.
11 minutes?
Yep.
On the parchment paper?
Yep.
So just
give it 1 big jerk. Nice. Do you want the honors?
Yeah, I'll take it out. With the paper?
Yep.
I guess. Nice. Look at that.
Here's your board.
I kind of like the toasty parchment paper. That kind of gives it an old world feel, doesn't it? It smells great. Look at that. You can't buy a pizza like that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. That's nice.
Nice work.
That is great.
Fun, huh?
That is cool. I would do that. A subscriber by the name of Dan Ritchie wrote us a request.
I want to see you saw a board and Cody cook dinner.
Today you get your wish.
What's this?
Oh!